Whenever I look to jade, or jadeite in this case, which is of course the hardest form of jade you can find, I look for a few things. I look to see if there is an incredible glassy polish. Now, that tells us about the structure within. If it's a very fine crystalline structure within, a tight one, you have smoother polish at the end. You know, the result is that the stone is indeed hard. It's not coarse, it's very glassy, it's very beautiful. So you'll see that the shine on this piece is exactly that. Also look for some level of translucence. Excuse me, I'm going to cough a bit. Sorry about that, that's unplanned. And the translucence, whilst there is not a whole lot, there is enough still to hold light, and I like this effect. It's very pretty, and that kind of gives it more of a dimension to the stone, if that makes sense. And of course jadeite is well known for this. I also look for a blending of the hues, whatever they are. In this case you'll see the lavender, very pale beautiful lavender, and the pale celadon green, and to me this is lovely. This is untreated, it's A grade, and the stone itself has not been impregnated with any colour enhancement. These are the natural gentle tones, and they're, I won't say even, because you can see the top of the beautiful bird, beautiful bird, might be just a shade lighter as it goes down to the tail. But this is a graduation, and it's a natural one, and it's not, you know, blotchy or anything like that. It's actually very natural. It's like a watercolor effect, and very beautiful and peaceful. Also, I look to the composition of the carving, because not all carvings are the same. Carvings, of course, are very individual and unique and different, and in this case the carving and the subject matter, to my mind, is extremely lovely. The bird seems to imply almost a baby bird because of the size of the head and the aspect and the innocence, and it's a very gentle, lovely bird. And then you have the fruit to the right, which is wonderfully executed because it's in the other colour, and the fruit just seems to sit there with a life of its own, looking very real and natural. And the lines are very pleasing, because, you know, there he is. He sits on the branch very naturally with his claws holding on, looking back, looking over his shoulder. And it's extremely elegant pose when you look at the lines from the top of the head as they curve down to the tail. And this naturally divides the colouring in the stone and then to the work on the right. It is very beautifully and artistically worked. I personally would actually set this into a lovely big heavy chunky pendant. Of course, to the jadeite collectors, you know, this is something that you would display as it is on its own and enjoy it that way. But being a Westerner, I do like to wear my stones very much. Anyway, thank you so much for looking. I do love jadeite. I'm drawn to it. I always have been. It's one of the most loved stones in the world. Certainly population-wise, it is the most appreciated. And I can see why. When you have a fine piece, it is just beautiful.